right. We are live. We are live. Uh, Never done this before, so this is my first shot at this. So just getting connected on here on Twitch real quick as my I'm gonna be live here on Twitch. Oops, let me turn myself down. All right, so I can have the chat up in there, and then let's see if I can get YouTube up real quick. See if I'm live, so I can see the chat. Let's see. It says I'm recording on YouTube. There we go. If I could get YouTube up real quick. There we go. Let's see if so I got the comment section up live so I can see the chat. All right, here we go. Let's see. So welcome to Coffee Break Sports. I am your sports barista, Rod the Magnificent, back with a live episode. Let's go. All right, let's go. There we go. We're about to get this thing in. We're about to get it going. So I can see the As y'all know, I am hyped. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I am hyped. So if you've been following this channel for a while now, I am a huge Bears fan. And if you are a Bears fan, please hit that explosive in the chat. And I appreciate you guys being here. Just want to start off. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm more than honored to be here. And just want to tap into 4 topics that... All right, calm that down. All right, we're going to tap into... Hold on, let me charge me up here. Let me charge myself up so I won't lose the live. All right, so here we go. I'm in an empty room right now talking to myself, but I'm sure somebody will pop up and be with me on this live episode. Now, let's get right into it. You see the 4 topics here. I'm doing a reaction Monday here on Coffee Break Sports. And if you haven't done so already, hit all of those links down below. Hit the bell for notifications, all that good stuff. Hit the like button. That's the most important thing. If you're on YouTube watching me, hit that like button because that is how it will help with the algorithm, so to speak. So enough of me rambling. Let's get right into our first topic. And of course, that first topic of discussion today will be none other than the Chicago Bears. So as you can see, that was the kick heard around Chicago as the Chicago Bears come out on top. They beat the Las Vegas Raiders 25-24. Give me 1 second here. Sorry, guys. I am butchering this live, but it's cool. You're here with me. But I'm going to pull up these stats here. Yes, the Chicago Bears come out victorious after an ugly win over the Raiders, in which we saw Geno Smith throw 3 interceptions. We saw Caleb Williams throw an interception, but it wasn't his fault. Max Crosby is a future Hall of Famer, and future Hall of Famers make plays like that. Okay, so right there, that play right there, I can't put any type of onus on Caleb Williams there. But Caleb put on a good show in the second half. After a messy first half, he was able to do all he could to get the team into range to take the lead in the fourth quarter. And as you know it, that still left enough time on the clock for the Raiders to try to win the game. But as we know, lo and behold, blocked field goal, and the Raiders come away off the field sad, while Bears fans are happy all over the place. I mean, the intensity in Chicago is real, y'all. Is real. I went to work earlier today and I was driving down. Everywhere I go, I see nothing but Bears paraphernalia. I mean, everybody is rocking their Bear stuff. As you can see, I got my Bears hat. And so I had to come on here and represent myself. The Bears have the whole entire city of Chicago feeling very good. Very good. And I can't, I just can't speak. If you think about it, think about this with the Bears, okay? The Bears, I saw a stat that said that the Bears, this was their first road victory on a Sunday in like 3 or 4 years. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. They did win some road games, but those came on a Monday night or a Sunday night. And I don't have the stats in front of me to give you that, but that's how long it's been since the Bears won a road game on a Sunday. Let that sink in, Bears fans. Let that sink in. And one thing that I will address is this. Going into the regular season and going into the bye week, I just want to address something. The Bears need to do something about their running game. I can't watch Swift anymore. I just can't. I can't watch Swift anymore. He is trash. He doesn't hit the holes like he's supposed to, Pauls. And he's just, I mean, the dude, he scored a touchdown at the end. I get it. He scored the game-sealing touchdown at the end. He's a smart player at times. But sometimes when the offensive line gives you opportunities, he just hesitates, man. He just hesitates. And it's so irritating. And I think that Ryan Poles needs to do something about his situation with the running game with the Chicago Bears teams. There are a lot of running backs available. Don't have time to mention all the running backs that are available, but something has to give. Something has to give. I cannot keep watching this running game because at this point, Caleb has to carry the team via the passing game. Now, yes, he had one touchdown. It wasn't a pretty game by any means necessary. But the man showed up when it counted the most. He didn't play hero ball, even though he was the hero of yesterday's game. He didn't take unnecessary risk. He didn't take unnecessary sacks when he didn't have to. And I was just very proud of our starting quarterback. And for those who want to keep throwing and kicking dirt on Caleb Williams and saying he's still going to be a bust and this, that, and the third, it takes time. I said this in previous episodes of Coffee Break Sports. It takes time for a quarterback to develop. It takes time for a quarterback to develop. And if you have the right coach to develop that quarterback can be a franchise level game-changing quarterback. And that's what we're seeing with Ben Johnson. That's what we are seeing with Caleb Williams. You can't sit here and continue to blame the quarterback, Chicago fans. You got to get past that. You got to get past that. You have to start looking at other areas as to the reasons why this Bears team is struggling to pull off wins. There's still some question marks in the running game. There's still some question marks on the offensive line. There's still some question marks on the defensive line. There's still a lot of injuries with the Chicago team. So we can't go into the break feeling 100% confident. But I know what will help with Bears fans as far as building up their confidence is the fact that looking at the schedule, and I'm going to pull it up, looking at the Bears schedule, the games coming up, they have the Washington Commanders on the road. I think that's a winnable game. The Commanders have not looked as good as they did last year. And I understand, Jaden Daniels will be back for that game. But That's a winnable game. Not saying the Bears are going to win that game, but it's a winnable game. Up next, we got the New Orleans Saints, which, in my opinion, as far as the New Orleans Saints is concerned, I think hit that like button too. When you guys come in through the door, hit that like button. I see 3 in the chat. We just getting started, man. We just getting started. But yeah, I think that the Bears can win that New Orleans game at home. Even though New Orleans been playing tough. The New Orleans Saints, they're going to be a bad team, but they're playing teams tough. They are playing teams tough. Okay? So, and then after that, you got the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I'm not going to get ahead of myself here and think that the Bears are going to beat Baltimore. And I'm going to be getting to Baltimore with my next topic in the future of this live here. But they got Cincinnati without Joe Burrow. That's a winnable game. You got the New York Giants, which Jackson Dart looked good in his debut, but I still need to see more. But that's a winnable game at home. And then you got that's when you get to a very tough part in your schedule with the Minnesota Vikings, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Eagles, and Green Bay. Okay, so with those 5 games, you have Washington, New Orleans, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and New York. That's a possibility you can rip off 4 out of 5. If you rip out 4 out of 5 there, you're talking about a 6-3 start to the season. A 6-3 start. And that's not bad. That is not bad, ladies and gentlemen. That is not bad. And so shout out to the Bears for going into the bye week 2-2. Shout out to Ryan Poles. Shout out to the Bears getting their 800th franchise victory. 800 wins as a franchise. That is amazing. And big time shout out from Kevin Warren on that one as he gave the game ball to the entire Bears organization, including the McCaskies. But hey, it is what it is. All right. Now let's get into our next topic here because I don't want to stay on this thing too long. Up next, we got the Green Bay Packers up to bat. The Green Bay Packers and the Cowboys. Big showdown during primetime on NBC. And man, I didn't expect this game to be close. I was thinking that the Green Bay Packers were going to come in here and dominate. And boy, was I wrong. They started off very hot, went on a 13-0 lead, but after the Cowboys blocked that extra point, after a second touchdown that was scored by Romeo Doubs, that changed the momentum of the game for the Cowboys. And the Cowboys were able to get into a healthy shootout with the Green Bay Packers, leading to overtime in which the game finished in a tie. And now the Green Bay Packers sit at 2-1-1 in second place in the division under the 3-1 Detroit Lions. And so I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to come on here and kick dirt at the Packers because I'm a Bears fan, even though I love to see the Packers lose or tie in this case. I love to see that. But in this situation, I wanted to bring this game up, because there's a problem in the NFL. There's a huge problem. The problem is we need to figure out the overtime situation. I don't like ties in football. I think the NFL needs to, I think the answer to that is I think the NFL needs to extend the time limit for overtime from 10 minutes to 12 minutes. I think it's 10 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me in the comment section. But 10-minute overtimes is not long enough. You got to have at least 12. And that'll give teams some time to figure it out, because I feel like if the Green Bay Packers would have scored on that possession or, tied the game, that would have given Dallas another opportunity to try to win the game, and that would have sealed the deal. If Dallas would have scored, that would have been it. Okay? Green Bay purposely ran a lot of clock off. And if you don't want ties on, this is just a lesson to coaches out there, NFL coaches out there. If you don't want ties on your record, man, score in a hurry and rely on your defense to stop the other team. I felt like that was the mistake that the Green Bay Packers made. They try to chew up so much clock, and they thought they were so confident in being able to score a touchdown before time ran out. That's why they ran that inexplicable play right before they sent the field goal unit out. I don't get that one, but it's like, come on. Like, are you playing to win or are you playing to tie the game? And if you're playing to win, I would have just went on and just tried to, move the clock, not move the clock, but try to move down the field as fast as I can and put the pressure back on the Cowboys to try to score again. That's just my opinion, but I think they need to change the overtime rule. It's trash. All right. But shout out to the Cowboys for showing up during prime time and giving us a really good game, even though it came down to a very excruciating tie. Hey, NFL still knows how to pick these primetime matchups. They have been really nailing these of late. And now we're going to go to our next topic, the Baltimore Ravens. Are they in trouble? The Baltimore Ravens are an interesting team. And I know a lot of people, the discourse out there is, they need to fire John Harbaugh. I know the fire John Harbaugh, fire and brimstones is out right now. I know it is. But here's my problem with that as we talk about it. Here's my problem with that. John Harbaugh is only half the problem. Okay? He's only half the problem. Coming from a Bears fan who's a hardcore criticizer of coaches here, I've had my share of bad coaches as a Bears fan. I endured 3 years of Eberflus, ladies and gentlemen. What John, and I know John has been there forever. I think it's John fatigue at this point with a lot of Baltimore Ravens fans. They want to see a new voice. They want to see a new face. They felt like he should have got fired last year. Some felt like he should have got fired a year prior because of after losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of people felt that way, Ravens fans. But here's my problem with that, okay? It's not going to solve the problem, like, right away. You have a Ravens team that is knocking on the door of being a Super Bowl contender, all right? So if you get a head coach at this point, of where the team is at, it better be someone like a Bill Belichick. It better be someone who has playoff experience, has Super Bowl experience. It can't be some fresh dude that's just starting his new gig, like similar to Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, fresh, he found a fresh team with a fresh quarterback that he can get a good head start on his career. But in this case, you need somebody that, hey, Bruce Arians, if he's out there, he's got experience. But guys, I think it's pretty immature. Ask too much from John Harbaugh at this point. Because, number one, Lamar Jackson's not playing well. Let's just put that out there. Lamar Jackson's not playing well. I know y'all don't want to hear it. I know you guys don't want to admit it. A lot of you Baltimore fans. But Lamar Jackson has to play better. I understand Derrick Henry fumbled a couple of times in a couple of games. I blame him too. But you know what else I blame? I blame this terrible defense that the Baltimore Ravens have. The Baltimore Ravens can't stop a nosebleed on defense. And now Roquan Smith is hurt. And now Humphreys is hurt. They can't stop anybody. Some of the onus definitely goes to John Harbaugh in that department. But golly, get it together. I mean, this team as a whole is not playing well. And I don't think that firing John Harbaugh is going to make anything better. He's got to coach out this season. You got to see how far this goes. Do not be a master of panic. The division is still winnable. The Steelers look good, but they don't look like, to me, I still think Baltimore is better than Pittsburgh. I still think they are. They're better than the Bengals. They're better than the Browns. So I'm not going to write off Baltimore just yet. And don't write off John just yet. Let him play it out. Let this thing play out. You guys aren't used to losing. You guys been winning the last 2 seasons. I get it. Losing hurts. But all of this, fire this person, fire that person, it's going to take some time, guys. They gotta work it out. You didn't hear Kansas City calling for Andy Reid's head after going 0-2 to start the season. They figured it out. Now they're 2-2. Figure it out, Baltimore. Figure it out. Last but not least, and we got for those who are just now following me here on Coffee and Break Sports, Coffee Break Sports, I'm about to say Coffee and Beats, which is my other page. Go check that out, Coffee and Beats, where I talk about music, album reviews, things of that nature. But my last topic of discussion is the Chicago Cubs. I'm a Cubs fan, and they play the San Diego Padres in the playoffs for the wild card, and that will be tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. And yeah, I'm happy about my Cubs. It's hard to believe that my Cubbies are in the playoffs, and it has literally been 9 years since the Cubs won the World Series in 2016. And here they go. They go up against the San Diego Padres team that they have not played in the playoffs since 1984, when the Chicago Cubs lost to the Padres in 5 games in the NLCS. And I was only 3 years old probably when that playoff series happened. But I did backtrack and watch that series as a hardcore Cubs fan, and I saw the Steve Garvey home run in Game 4 that forced the Game 5, and then mysteriously San Diego had home field advantage and were able to get the 5th game at home, thanks to the Cubs not having lights at Wrigley at the time. So for some reason, for schedule purposes, TV purposes, Game 5 had to be played in San Diego, and San Diego was able to win that game 6-3, if I'm not mistaken, to go on to beat the Cubs and make it to the World Series. They lost to the Detroit Lions, or the Detroit Tigers rather, in the following round in the World Series. So yeah, here we are. We got the Chicago Cubs going up against San Diego. San Diego is actually a favorite to win this series, even though the Cubs have home field on this one. All 3 games will be played at Wrigley. And to start Game 1, you have Nick Pivetta for the San Diego Padres. And then afterwards, for the Chicago Cubs, you have Matthew Boyd, who will be starting at pitcher. And if I'm gonna just run down some of the stank stats. Yeah, so we have the Cubs, who have a batting average of .250, which is 11th in the MLB. The San Diego Padres finished 7th in the National League in batting average at .252. On base percentage, they're about even at 10. Cubs at 10th, the San Diego Padres at 9th. As far as runs scored, the Cubs almost scored 800 runs this year, which is kind of crazy. But they were 5th in the league in runs scored, while San Diego were 18th in the league in runs scored. Home runs, Cubs got the edge there. They're 6th in home runs, 223 to be exact, and San Diego 152 home runs, 28th in the National League and also in the league period. Slugging percentage, the Cubs have the advantage there. They're 6th. The San Diego Padres are 22nd. Earned run average, the San Diego Padres have the edge there. The Cubs are in 8th. The Padres are in third. Batting average against the San Diego Padres are first, and that's what scares me about this matchup. The Cubs can get into these hitting slumps that are so irritating. They are so irritating, but we'll see what happens. And so that's it. Those are the stats for this upcoming series. This series can be watched on ABC, so you'll be able to watch the games if you're a little bit concerned. I don't have marquee, and how I'm going to be able to see the Cubs. No, you don't have nothing to worry about there. You'll be able to see the Cubs on ABC on regular TV, or if you got the ESPN app, you should be able to get it, or whatever, YouTube TV, Fubo, whatever you got, you'll be able to get it. So I'm looking forward to this matchup. I got the Cubs winning this series in 3 games. I think this one goes the distance. I think the Cubs win this one and advance to play the Brewers. In other series, you have the Cleveland Indians going up against the Detroit Tigers, and Cleveland finished the season very hot. They were not even in first place most of the season, and they just got hot towards the end. I got Cleveland winning that series against Detroit in 2 games. I got them winning that one 2-0 to advance to play the Seattle Mariners. And then the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox will square off in Yankee Stadium. I got the Yankees winning that series in 2 games as well. And last but not least, the Los Angeles Dodgers will be going up against the Cincinnati Reds, who were able to edge out past the New York Mets to get that final spot. They will play in Los Angeles, all 3 of those games, and I got the Dodgers winning this one in a clean sweep to go on to play the Philadelphia Phillies, which will be an interesting divisional matchup. So can't wait to see that. It's going to be a good playoffs in baseball. If you are a baseball fan and you like that good old-fashioned baseball, come check it out. I'm rooting for my Cubbies, so hopefully the Cubs can pull it off. If they do, I will definitely go live. And so that will do it for this edition of Coffee Break Sports. I am your sports barista, Rod. And I'm glad you guys were able to tune in. If you wasn't able to tune in to this live, check out the replay on Twitch or on YouTube. All right. So enough of me rambling. Thank you for tuning in. When it comes to coffee, when it comes to sports, stay grounded for life. I will see you guys on my next episode. I'll be doing an NFL picks episode coming up next. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.